Alright guys, I'm going to show you how to do a cutout. So you go over, you find the photo you want to use. I'm going to drag it over into Photoshop. Gotta wait a little bit. Now that the photo's there, you go over here to where it says background, and you choose, you click right click, and you duplicate the layer. These are all the layers, whatnot. You want to make this one that's locked over here, you want to make that invisible by clicking the eye. Now you just have the normal layer that you want. Next you come over to this wall of tools here, and you want to right click on this one. It could be any of these three shapes. I like to use the polygon tool. After you hit that, you want to come up here where it says feather. When you do a normal cutout, except for if you're using hair, and except for if you're cutting out hair, you want to have it at 0 pixels. When you're at hair, you want to either have 1 or 2 pixels, depending on what you're doing. Guy, girl, fuzzy, not so fuzzy, whatever. Now that you've done that, I come over to the photo and I click, left click all the way around the object of interest in the photo until I get something like this. I then right click and I click select inverse. Now that you've got all that selected, the stuff outside of the object of interest, you can hit backspace and that background will disappear. To make all these little dotted lines go away, you hit Control D, like dog, and then you zoom in, usually with the scroll wheel on the mouse, but if not, there's a tool here in Photoshop that can zoom in down here. Either zoom in or zoom out. But back to this tool, our polygon tool. You just go along the line of someone's, this is a guy's shoe who's hurdling, and you just cut around by clicking. You got those little spikes in there. You want to get as much detail as possible. I just screwed up, no big deal. Just keep going. When you feel like you've got a sizable chunk, I'm sorry, I screwed up again. When you feel like you get a sizable chunk done, I'll just do a little bit. Then you just come off the leg. Make sure you're not cutting part of the body. You go up here, go back out into your gray zone of no background, and then you line up with your main point down here, and you double click. That'll give you that hash marks, dashed line thing. You hit backspace, and that bit of background will go away. Sometimes you have stuff like this, so you come in and just kind of get real close on the detail, trim it up. Backspace again, Control D. Right here, this is a mess. These are shoelaces. Real hard to get nice detail on. I'm not going to focus too hard on getting really nice detail. That's what you guys are going to be doing now. Alright, looks better than it did. We can go down here to the bottom of the shoe. You just click around all those spikes. You drag around. Pretty easy to do. Just make sure you stay pretty lined up, zoomed in. If this isn't close enough, get closer, that kind of thing. You can always kind of just cut off a little bit like that. No biggie. The person's not going to notice if a 1/4 inch of their shoe is suddenly missing. Come up here like this. Oh, it's not what you want. So if you screw up like that, you cut into their leg, just press backspace, and it'll go, or cut into wherever, and it'll go back to the point you were just at. To pan like this, with a little hand there, you hit spacebar, and then you click and drag. Now I'm going to come up to his hand. A little screw up there. Well, we're all perfect. We're imperfect. We're all human. Whatever. Keep cutting it out. Alright, now we got to this point where I feel like I have a sizable chunk. Go back out into my gray space. A little checkered background. I come up here, I line up again, and I double click. I press backspace and Control D, and then I got all this little nifty stuff to do. Fix that up, clean it up. So far we've cut out all that. I probably won't get through the whole thing with you guys. But you just keep going at the next part. Just keep going along. Alright. Basic gist of it. You get it. A little touch up there. Make the hand a little less jagged. You always want to clean that out. So if you have a little wrong color mark, you kind of come in on the photo. You just gone. Look at that. Real nice. If you got a little jaggedness, kind of go like that. Pretty basic stuff. Alright. Now, the important part is when you guys got hair like this. If I cut out hair along the line, let me just give you a little demo. It looks all jagged and sharp-edged. That's not something we want to do. So what we do is we go up here to the feather, and with hair like this where it's all light and fuzzy, you probably want to go to 2px or pix or whatever you want to call it, and then you start doing it. Make sure you don't scroll like that. That would stink. Alright. Sometimes if it's straighter hair like on a girl, you use 1, but you come up. You hair you don't necessarily follow the outside line. You kind of want to be like right inside that line. Come around, coming down. Oh, lag. Stop. Alright. You just keep going. Hair I like to do pretty much in one chunk. That way I can change my feather back. You get down to this stuff, you kind of follow it around. Now you're back to his shoulder right here. So at this point, I don't really want to use the feather on his shoulder because I want it to be a crisp line. So I drag all the way up and over a little more, back down, bam, double click. Got a nice curve to it. Control D, or backspace, and then Control D, and you get this smooth feathered finish of his hair. Looks pretty natural. You can see this little fade going on right here. Let's see how whatever. But that's what that does. So then you want to go back for the rest of your photo and go back to 0, hit enter, and continue to cut out the rest of your photo. This isn't my greatest work of art. You'll be spending a lot more time on cutouts because we want to make our book look just outstanding. A little bit of lag there. Come down. Oh shoot, darn, I screwed up, so I lost all that work. But that's no biggie. Just gonna go try a different section then. You know, get frustrated if you do the same thing on the same spot twice. So I like to just move to a different spot. Always make sure you're cutting out the right person. people. That would be a bummer if you cut out the wrong person and had to do it all over again. Alright, that's pretty good. Those nasty shoelaces. You have trouble like this. This just a booger to do. You can always ask one of us editors. We'll probably be able to help you out. Now, there's always these little pockets that people forget. This is a pretty big one, pretty hard to miss, but you could still. You want to make sure that you cut out everything that's not part of the person. So since this is not him, we're going to cut it out. Obviously, this is not fine detail. Backspace, Control D. Got that done. Look at that, these guys have the same shoes, so that could screw you up, so make sure you're really looking at which one you're cutting out. Right now I'm just going to do this real fast, not super nice, because I want to show you how to save it when you're done. Alright, whatever. We'll just save it like this. No, I'll keep going. Just kidding. Yeah. Why does it keep doing that? I have no idea. You guys shouldn't have this much trouble. I think it's just because I'm recording it right now. The computer's lagging a little bit. Make sure you get all the details. I don't know what was going on there. The computer's just lagging a lot. Back to the same spot. Sweet. Looks like I'm going to do it without screwing up this time. Miracle. Double click. Backspace. Control D. Look at that, you got half his body done. Go back over here. Get this done. Why do you have to lag? I have no idea. Follow the curves, follow the lines. Control D. Alright. Alright, and if you ever want to undo something, you can hit Control Z, and now let's make it go away. If you screw up or something, no biggie, always easy to fix. If you have screw-ups from like 2 or 3 moments ago, you hit Control Alt Z, and that'll make, you can go back multiple screw-ups, little undos. It's like multiple get-out-of-jail-free cards. Alright, this is about as much as I'm going to be able to do for you guys. So I'll show you the save. You go up here to File, and press Save As. You want to go, you might want to save it as a PSD if you're not done like this, a Photoshop. But I'm going to go down to TIFF. Let's just say I was done, all the way down here at the bottom, hit TIFF, and then as a copy without layers, okay, hit Save. Make sure as a copy without layers, save, and that way you can upload it to Jostens real easy. You click OK, it'll start saving over here. That'll be it. Alright guys.